And we have a new tornado warning that does include Lafayette Parish as well for the cell that is pushing on through. This tornado warning just issued just moments ago, and we're going to talk weather from here on out for the rest of this newscast. This tornado warning in effect till 7:30 p.m. for Acadia, Lafayette, and St. Martin parishes. And this is the cell that we have been watching, and this convective cluster, this mesoconvective cluster. It's essentially a large cluster of very intense thunderstorms, a lot of cloud to ground lightning, water's coming down hard and heavy now, and the possibility of a tornado right here. So let me go ahead and just do a little interrogation here. I'll just come back over to the weather lab and do that. And again, you can see how things are kind of rotating around. First off, we just look at this in motion. So there's some rotation going on right here, and there certainly could be a tornado. So let's stop this and take a zoom into our data if we can, and that's what we'll be doing right now. And it is coming down hard and heavy here at KATC. The winds are gusting 55. We're getting 55 right here at the station. Wow. Okay, we're showing up to 94-mile-per-hour winds, so we're getting the front end of the storm here at KATC. That's where you see we're kind of in the interface of the red and the blue. And that rain is coming down hard and heavy. So again, watch the blue area. We'll put this in motion. Again, take a look at the Doppler radar and just put this in motion. A very intense cell now moving right into Lafayette Parish, right through Lafayette, and the possibility of damaging winds right now. And the velocity data really showing where this potential cell that could be producing a tornado is right here between Scott and Lafayette. Damaging winds, 90-mile-per-hour winds or greater. The power may go out. We just took a hit here at the station. I don't know if we're going to be able to stay on or not, but the winds, I can just hear, by the way, it's shaking our roof right now in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range. So very intense thunderstorm that is pushing on through. Are we still on air, by the way, Donald? We are still on the air, so that's good. I hear a number of whistles and bells going off back here, indicating very intense. We took a little bit of a power hit, but this is moving through Lafayette right now, the Scott area, the possibility of these damaging winds, and again, showing 80, 90-mile-per-hour winds on the backside. Let's see if we can get something here on the front side. Not very high, although you're in the plus 40 to minus 80. So there certainly could be an embedded tornado or embedded 100-mile-per-hour winds in this cell that is currently moving through Lafayette right now. Remember, we were telling you earlier, the model was telling us it was going to take till 6:30. Well, it is now past that. And let me just see. The radar, we took a power hit. I got to start the radar again, but let me just go over to the Doppler sweeps because we'll be able to get other data coming in. And of course, we're down here where our radar is stopped because of the power hit. Let me just get that going here and see if we can get that going as well. We may have had a power outage, and that may just be the weather system may be coming back up. So we've lost the radar right now. Those strong winds may have caused a power hit. We may have to check out in the Doppler shed to make sure everything is copacetic there. But we still, and when the storm's moving right over our radar, we want to look at other radars right now for those intense winds. So a very intense storm moving through Lafayette Parish right now. We have a tornado warning for Lafayette Parish till 6:30 p.m. New severe thunderstorm warning just getting updated for farther to the south. We'll get you the latest on that. That's till 6:30. The tornado warning till 6:30. Again, we don't have the Doppler radar right now. Let's see if we have that. No, we lost that with the power hit, but we'll go to the Doppler radar sweeps and get you the latest action right there. Some very intense cells pushing on through the area, and the possibility of hail, but not looking as strong. We had now that just looks like Peter marble size hail to the south, but the big story right now is the intense winds that are pushing through with this convective cluster that spans from northeastern portions of St. Landry Parish. Very intense action here. Let's look at the velocity data. What I'm going to have to do is get into this and just just pull out our Doppler velocity. This way we can look at the Lake Charles velocity data, and that's what we have here right now. And again, some strong winds with this cell. Let's 47 on the back side, and we're probably hitting 30s and 40s on the front side or close to that. So pretty strong winds there. Let's clear that. Let's look again at the strong winds in around the Sunset area. See, we're going back and forth now. This is Fort Polk data. Now we're into Lake Charles data, and the strongest winds showing up on the Lake Charles Doppler radar right now across the southern portion of Lafayette Parish. 85, 90 mile per hour winds. That confirms what we were seeing on Power Doppler 3 a little bit earlier. This is pretty much between Farrell Road, right Boulevard, including the River Ranch area, down through Calisa Loom and Vero School Road, LA 339. So here's LA 330. This is Vero School Road. Here is Ambassador Caffrey. Here is Camellia. So right on the south side of town, some very intense winds pushing through the area, and the possibility of wind damage. Let's open it back on up here. Let's just go ahead and save this product as well. I will save it. Let's kick out of the show right here for a second so I can save this. And because I just don't want to go back to our Doppler radar until I see our sweep coming back online. Everything says it's okay with the Doppler, but we saw that sweep not working. So save that. Rats. So let's get back through here and show you what's going on. Again, that's the tornado watch. Boy, we're hearing winds gusting. I'm hearing it at the station here, probably about 60 miles an hour with this cell that continues to push on through across the area. Very intense, blinding rainfall, tree damage more than likely, power surges likely with this system, and the possibility of, again, damaging winds. Go back to the velocity data again. This is what we caught just before the radar went out. And you can see, oh, the Doppler's trying to work right there. But we're going to bring back the Lake Charles Doppler radar and get that on here while we reboot our system here. And again, you can see not as granular, not as fine, but it's working right now. And we'll just go ahead and save this as an element. There we go. And we can interrogate some of the winds here on the southern portion of Lafayette Parish. Now, these are winds aloft by the Lake Charles Doppler radar. So we're talking 80, 90 mile per hour winds here. Let's go back to the west, Youngsville area. Very intense winds pushing on through. Very intense thunderstorm activity pushing on through. And again, that tornado warning in effect for Lafayette Parish. This is till 6:30 p.m. And we'll bring the Doppler sweeps in and show you where this cell is. It's progressing right through Lafayette as we speak. Put it in motion. And again, you can see the very intense cloud to ground lightning from Maurice through the Abbeville area, Kaplan, on up through Lafayette. And then we work our way northward. We have another individual cluster that is producing a lot of cloud to ground lightning and the possibility of damaging winds as well. Again, let's get back to the velo data, as we call it in the weather world, and let's look back for our storms up here by Opelousas, between Sunset and the Grand Coteau area. We're all over the place. There's a lot of weather going on, so sorry about just moving our maps all around. But we're showing 70 mile an hour winds. So if we're querying 70 mile per hour winds aloft, they could certainly be 50 to 60 mile per hour winds working their way down to the south, and that's between the Sunset and the Grand Coteau area up through Opelousas, heading for the Leonville area as well. And we can put that in motion, and you can see how the velocity data is showing up there. We come back down and check on the cell that's in Lafayette Parish. Again, very intense winds, 60 to 80 mile an hour winds, common, not just in the few isolated spots. All of southern Lafayette Parish pretty much seeing this through Broussard. It's about to bear down on the Broussard area, those intense winds, and it's moving through Youngsville as we speak, and then we'll be eventually moving toward the Cade area farther south and east and into the western portions of Upper St. Martin Parish. So very intense cell here, and this is why we have the warnings going right now at tornado warning for the cell that we're watching. So back to the velocity data here, and again, we'll show you that. And again, very intense cell pushing on through southern Lafayette Parish. So again, a lot of folks are saying, Rob, you're repeating yourselves. A lot of folks are just joining us right now and watching these severe cells push on through. So let's bring up the Doppler radar again, the sweeping Doppler radars, get a little bit closer in. This is all the Doppler radars, and you can see the cloud-to-ground lightning frequent, those little teeny tiny dots there showing a lot of lightning data showing up here. Very intense thunderstorm activity. Just to give you an idea on the amount of lightning that we're catching, about 2,700 cloud-to-ground strokes, and the positive strokes winning way over the negative strokes. That almost always means damaging winds, and we're hearing gusts here at the station in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range at least. Maybe even a little bit more than that right now. So let me leave this on here, and we'll take a look outside the door, and I'll see if we can see any kind of direction on the wind here at KATC. That's probably running out of the west. Bottom line, though, we're seeing thunderstorm warnings moving from west to east across the area. I'm working my way to a door here in the newsroom, just so you can probably hear off of our mic the rainfall. I don't know. Right now we have a pretty strong west-northwest wind, a lot of frequent lightning showing up, and sheets of rain. Visibility is pretty low as well. No evidence of hail here at the station nor wind damage, but it is coming down hard and heavy across the area. And this is what it's going to do as it continues to move to the east across the rest of Acadiana. So we have a tornado warning in effect till 6:30. That's another 11 minutes for Lafayette Parish. The cell is moving to the east. And again, a lot of intense cloud-to-ground lightning and the possibility of damaging winds. Now, one thing we may notice, there's some changes in structure. So we're not sure if we're seeing this weaken at all right now, but very intense rainfall. Just to give you an idea, we can query just where the heaviest rain is, and it's going to tell us that it's raining at a rainfall rate there, 0.24 per hour. I think that's way underdone. Yeah. Okay, 6 inches per hour. That's about right, but it's only going to last for about 20 minutes, or 8 inches per hour. It's going to last for about 20 minutes. So you're not going to get those 8 inches of rain, but you're going to catch about 1 to 2 in a very short period of time. And then we'll be concerned, are we going to see this next cluster of thunderstorms that is off to the south of us, working its way northeastward? Is that going to work its way inland as we go through the evening hours? Right now, we'd much rather see that staying well away from us and stay offshore, and that could rob some of the instability. But again, this is the cell that we're going to watch right here if this works its way inland. But we have 2 individual supercell clusters, one in eastern portions of St. Landry Parish, another one across portions of Lafayette Parish. And again, you can see very intense cells working their way across the area. So let's get to the velocity data here that hopefully I saved. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Again, those intense winds moving through the Broussard area, Youngsville right now. Let me go ahead and query some of these 76 mile per hour winds, 81 mile per hour winds. So it's getting gnarly as you get into the western portions of upper St. Martin Parish, pretty much out over the swampy area over toward Lake Martin. But this will be working its way toward parks in the St. Martinville area very shortly, probably in the next 15 minutes or so. So some very intense cells here that are pushing on through. Severe thunderstorm warnings under effect for portions of Acadiana. You can see those in the shades of orange or darker yellow. And then we have that tornado warning again for Lafayette. So that is what we're looking at right now. And let's put things in motion. And let me just check to see if I can do a fault reset and a servo reset on the Doppler here remotely. Interestingly enough, oh yeah, here we go, servo power, and we'll try to get that back up and try to re-radiate if we can, and we'll see if that will work and help us out. But again, some power outages, some tree branches going down with these type of winds. So we're going to continue to have those issues as we head through the evening hours. So we'll do this one more time, and I'll give the Doppler a little time to gather itself. Okay, servo power we have. Radiate. Push the button. Yeah, all right. We got the radar back. So sometimes that's the way it goes. So let's go to power Doppler 3. Okay, and see what we got here. We'll watch the sweep come back around. So now we're updating the radar. And, you know, this is part of broadcasting, too. When you get power hits, we have so many electronics. The station is a magnet for cloud-to-ground lightning. So, okay, now we got a clean sweep. So let's look at the velocity data. And that quite is not catching up quite yet. So we'll go back to the radar data, let it sweep around a little bit more. But again, you can see the intense cells that are pushing on through. And by the way, you see my sweep doesn't go that far. This is so we get better velocity data. What I do is I bring the sweep down a little bit closer in. So you're not seeing the activity off to the east. We can certainly show you that by going to the sweeps right here, but we're most interested in our area and want to get the highest resolution data. So that's why my sweep is shorter here this afternoon. I control that and can change that. Certainly we're getting some rain fade out with the heavy rains right here over the station. That's what you get with Doppler radars. But okay, now we look at this. Now look at this data. This is pretty wild looking. Let's check out some of the winds here that we're seeing. I'm going to guess close to 100. Yeah, that's a good guess, Rob. 98, 92. So close to 100 mile per hour winds here showing on the Doppler radar. That is damaging winds. Damaging winds right along Highway 353, just to the west and southwest of Parks. This is heading for LA 31, and we're on the St. Martinville Highway as well. Strong, damaging winds. Let's take a look at what we have here. Just to the west of St. Martinville, we're in the 70 to 80 mile per hour range. So some pretty intense winds pushing through there, pardon me. And then we go up farther to the north. And again, action out toward the basin, moving east of LA 347 as we get into the Chafalaya Swamp. But boy, oh boy, that looks pretty impressive right there. Very strong gradient for the possibility of damaging winds. That is a gust front. That is what a shelf cloud looks like if you were just looking at the clouds. Somewhere over here, looking at the clouds over here, but very intense winds now moving into Upper St. Martin Parish. So whether we have a tornado warning or whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning, this is producing damaging winds. So the National Weather Service has trimmed back that tornado warning. That covers Lafayette and Upper St. Martin Parish till 6:30 in the evening. And again, I'll put it back on the Doppler radar, and you can see that heavy rainfall across the region. And the cell trying to slip on shore right across portions of coastal Cameron and Vermilion parishes. But this is the other supercell that we'll watch. Let's put this in motion for kicks and giggles. And you can see there is a little bit of a northeastward build on that cell. And this is the cell that I'm talking about right here. Sometimes I'm not pointing to it with the pointer. So let's get over. New severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this is for, catching St. Landry Parish and portions of Lafayette Parish, the extreme northeastern portion of Lafayette Parish. This is the outline area that we're talking about right now. We have so many warnings going. This box right here that's up here. So that includes Upper St. Martin Parish. Also, we got Vermilion. Where did I query this in the wrong location, Melissa? Let's try this one more time again, and I'll query it in this box right here to make sure we have it. All right, that's going all the way over to Baton Rouge as well. But we have warnings going, pardon me, all over the place here across portions of Acadiana. So let's bring it back to this. And again, we'll watch that other supercell. That's saying that we might have more action. This may be working its way northeastward. Now, if this gets inland, then we're going to have flooding problems. If this the cell that is sitting offshore, we're going to have flooding problems for sure. But our main concern right now are the severe storms. They're moving through Lafayette Parish right now. Quick look, let's do some storm tracking again. And Donald, if you want to come back over to me in the weather lab, maybe I'll just, you can put me in a little box or whatever, but I'm kind of working these storms as we go right here. Hi. Here we go. This is the cell that we're working on right now, moving through Upper St. Martin Parish. And again, boy, this is showing 80, 90 mile per hour winds right here. So some pretty intense winds showing up. Here we go. New severe thunderstorm warning. We click on that box. And this is continuing. I bet you that is taking out the tornado warning and shifting back to a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back and take a look at our warnings right here. And no, tornado warning, that's expiring at 6:30. So I think in lieu of extending the tornado warning, we'll see. Flash flood warning, let's